everyone what Amy does?
What Amy does? Oh, yes.
In broad and ambiguous terms.
Oh, God. How do I explain this? At the height of COVID, April 22nd, I was in New York City when the comfort ship was there. We were doing a little work below the good old terra firma. And I got to see some of the technology that I've heard about. And we have technology literally that is here now that is getting better and better and better, and they're getting better for one reason and one reason only, and that's because right before President Trump left office, he signed an executive order for the patents of the technology to be released. And companies around the world got the opportunity to start their creative minds flowing and producing some of this great and wonderful technology that will eventually heal the world, make our health better, make us younger, stronger, faster, as they say in the comics. Younger, stronger, and faster, and better. I don't know about better looking. Anyway, one of our young lady congressmen of the Republic of Texas invested some of her hard-earned money, and she purchased a, well, I can't call it what I was about to say, so let me think of a name. A frequency bed. Let's call it that. I hate restrictions. A frequency bed. And it helps with frequency. Is Dr. Olga here yet? Buzz, where'd Buzz go? Okay. Anyway, we're going to have another doctor coming. Her name is Dr. Olga. I used to think my wife was the only Olga. But there's another one. And she put this piece of equipment on a computer in a briefcase. I'm going to buy one. I'm going to buy one. Because I watched it work. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. And it actually goes hand in hand with what Amy's doing with her bed. The difference is this laptop in this briefcase hooks you up in a nice little lounge chair of your choice with a few little clampy wires that go on your wrist. And like an MRI without the radiation problem, it scans your entire body and it diagnoses everything in just a couple of minutes. It'll tell you whether you have cancer, whether you had an aneurysm last week, or whether you had a stroke 2 months ago. It will tell you everything that's going wrong with you. It'll analyze every organ, every part of your body. It'll analyze your brain. It will analyze you and scan you, and it is absolutely incredible. And the first time I got scanned, I had Buzz's tech on, and it showed 2 or 3 little minor problems that weren't really much of anything. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, let's take this stuff off and do it again. I took this stuff off and did it again, and this stuff is so powerful that it was covering up all kinds of things that were wrong with me. And then he can do this, and it will fix you too. And then I did it again a couple days later, and it fixed some more stuff. And it tests you for things that 30 years ago you might have got bit by a bug and had Lyme disease or something, and it finds that. And it'll find viruses, and it'll find molds, and it'll find all kinds of things you're inflicted with. And it'll send the right frequency to the right area to destroy those, and they just explode. And it heals you. And if that ain't good enough, then you get on Amy's medbed. Oops. No, not medbed. Frequency thing. And you lay on a sheet of titanium that heats up all nice and it feels so good. And it plays some nice little music at the right frequencies and you lay there and it feels good. Boy, the first time I laid on that, every pain in my body went to the shoulder that hurt the most, and I thought she was killing me. I hurt so bad, I'm sitting here lifting my arm up off of it going, oh, what the hell's wrong with me? It hurt so bad. I've had my shoulders a little tore up over the years from certain things that I've done. And I thought she was killing me with that noise and heat and fun stuff that it does. And then all of a sudden, the pain went away. It's like, I don't know what the hell you did. You just sucked it out of my arm. And it lasted several days. And then I went back and got another one. And she set the frequency lower for something else. And, well, it didn't feel so good. It didn't help me that much. So I went back again, and she set it back up to the first setting. My shoulder wasn't quite as bad as the first time, but I could feel like everything going to that spot. And it hurt for about 10 minutes. And then all of a sudden the pain's gone. And I'm going, I couldn't do this before. I couldn't. A year ago, I couldn't do that. And I'm going, this stuff's pretty cool. I like it. I don't know if you know anything about Dr. Buzz's little technology here, but I got one in my wrist. I got two hanging around my neck. They represent the couple of times I've been shot. One has a Lord's Prayer on it. The other one has a flag that represents our nation. And so I wear them around my neck. It's kind of a little mental reminder. But they're his technology. And what they do for you is absolutely incredible. And Amy's here, and she's made it portable by not only purchasing the equipment, but working out a deal on a Mercedes Sprinter van to put it in so that it's portable. And she's here. And some of you, it takes about an hour.
How does it affect those who have been jabbed or shed upon?
Put it this way. If you hit anything in your body with the right frequency, it's going to fix it. It will fix it. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But there's lots of different types of these. There's some that are visual, and they use screens, and they reprogram. I watched our military take children who have had absolutely terrible, terrible things done to them in their life and use the screen frequency programming system to remove all those memories and replace them with good memories. Can you imagine removing a memory of something that as bad as maybe a satanic ritual that was occurring on somebody and replace it with a bunch of children playing with a beach ball on a beach? Can you imagine doing it literally in just an hour or so? Like that? Something that would have took decades of psychologist problems and going to see the psychologist and spending lots and lots of money to put their kids through college and never fixing the problem probably, to something that actually fixes the problem in an hour. Life is changing. I envision the next hospital like this. It's one building. It's 5 major rooms and a long place to line up. And there will be 5 different types of this equipment in there. One different type in each different room, depending on the situation that's needed, and people lining up. And 1 an hour going in and coming out fixed. That's what the new hospitals will be someday. All the rest of that crap, They're already building the surgical units. They're very expensive. They'll require a well-trained person to run them and operate them, and probably a couple of assistants. But can you imagine laying down in something that kind of looks like a great big MRI machine, if you've ever seen one of those, laying down in something like that and having them surgically remove a tumor from your brain without ever having to use a scalpel and cut the skull. No drills, no cutting the bone with a bone saw. Surgically removing a tumor that they may not get at all, they may not, but actually doing it without that kind of invasive surgery. It's a surgical bed that doesn't cut. I mean, this is like beam me up Scotty stuff. It is. It's crazy to have that kind of technology available. And it's coming. Not fast enough for a lot of people. There's no way they can build it, perfect it, and learn to use it fast enough, in my opinion. But you can start somewhere. And I know what it's done for me. That's pretty cool. I'm going to be 60 in a couple weeks. And I feel younger today than I did in 2013. I've even got a pretty good six-pack under this little bit of a keg. My muscles are pretty toned and hard and solid. Not bad for 60.